The first thing I heard wasn't, "Welcome home." It was my mom laughing, too loud like she was performing for someone. And then my brother's voice, cocky as ever, saying, "Relax. She'll handle it. She always does." I was still standing in the doorway with my backpack cutting into my shoulder, my suitcase tilted on one wheel, my fingers stiff from the cold outside. I hadn't even taken a full breath inside the house. My mom, Denise, glanced at me like I was late to a shift. "You're here," she said. Not happy. Not relieved. Just checked off. Shoes off. The kids are hyper. Before I could answer, two little bodies came flying at my legs. Lila and Evan. Sticky hands. Loud giggles. Their whole world in chaos mode. Smiled anyway. 'Cause that's what I do. Reflex. My brother Jace appeared behind them, wearing that same smug half-grin he's had since high school. He didn't hug me either. He just nodded at my suitcase like it was proof of something. "Look at you," he said. "Miss Big City. You gonna survive 4 days of real life." I opened my mouth to say something. Anything. But my dad, Rick, called out from the living room without standing up. "Good timing," he said. "We need to go over the plan." Plan. That word hit my chest weird. Denise walked into the kitchen and I followed, still dragging my suitcase like a shadow. On the counter was a printed itinerary, bright and glossy, with a resort logo at the top. Beside it, a list written in my mom's handwriting. Kids' meals. Bedtime routine. Emergency numbers. Do not forget meds at 8. My stomach tightened. What is this? Denise didn't even pretend it wasn't obvious. "We're leaving early tomorrow," she said, flipping the page like she was proud of it. "Just a little family trip. You'll stay here with Lila and Evan." Blinked. "Wait. I'm not going." Jace laughed like it was the funniest thing he'd heard all week. "Why would you? You don't even like beaches." I stared at him. "You never asked me." Denise sighed like I was making things difficult on purpose. "Honey, don't start. We just need you to be helpful. Please. It's Christmas." Christmas. I looked at the itinerary again. Looked at the babysitting list. Looked at my suitcase. And right then, something in me went quiet. Because I finally understood what this trip really was. And I realized they'd already spent my money before I even walked through the door. Let me back up a little. Because my mom didn't call me because she missed me. She called because she needed something. 2 weeks before I landed at that doorstep, I was in my apartment, half asleep, phone buzzing like it was an emergency. I picked up and her face filled the screen. Puffy eyes, shaky voice, dramatic lighting like she was in a movie. "Baby, please don't be mad," Denise whispered. I don't know who else to call." That line. That's her favorite weapon. Always has been. I sat up, rubbing my face. "Mom, what happened?" She looked away, sniffed, then hit me with the soft, trembling voice. "Christmas is coming. And we've never done anything as a family. Not really. Not like other people." And there it was. The setup. Before she even said the real ask, she started feeding me little guilt snacks, pictures of resorts, screenshots of deals, limited time offers, that kind of stuff. Then she finally said it. "We found a trip," she whispered. "Just 4 days. Nothing crazy. But we can't afford it unless you help. A little." Little. In my family, a little is never little. It starts as, "Just help us hold things together," and ends with me carrying the whole building on my back while they call it love. I'm not rich. I'm not some influencer. I work. Budget. I skip stuff I want so I can feel safe. But every time I get a little stable, my family starts wobbling on purpose, waiting for me to catch them. I told myself this time would be different. I really did. I said, "Okay. But I need to see exactly what it costs. And I'm not paying for anything I'm not included in." Denise nodded fast like she agreed. "Of course, honey. Course. We just want you with us." But then, something happened that made my gut tighten. A few days later I got a notification from my bank. Not a charge. Not a transfer. A document alert. And when I opened it, my name was sitting there in black and white, attached to something I didn't recognize. Something I never agreed to. I stared at the screen, heart thumping, and all I could think was, what else have they put my name on without telling me? I swear my body knew before my brain did. Because the second I saw my name on that document, I got this cold rush up my spine, like my stomach dropped, but my chest tightened at the same time. I just stood there in my kitchen, phone in my hand, staring at the screen like it was going to correct itself if I blinked hard enough. Didn't. My name was right there. Clean. Official. Typed like I'd volunteered. And next to it, a word I never ever wanted attached to me. Oh, borrower. I whispered. No, 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 like that could undo it. I tried to convince myself it was some kind of mistake. Some glitch. Some autofill thing. But the more I read, the worse it got. It wasn't a random form. It was a lender update. Real numbers. Real dates. Real responsibility. So I did what I always do when I'm scared. Got quiet. I didn't call my mom first. I didn't text Jace. I didn't even let myself cry yet. I opened my laptop, pulled my bank statements, and started digging like my life depended on it, because it did. And the pattern showed up fast. Every small help transfer. Every just until Friday. Every we'll pay you back. It wasn't scattered. It was consistent, like a drip that never stopped. I called the lender the next morning. My hands were sweating so bad I almost dropped the phone. The woman on the line was polite, almost bored. Like this was normal. Can you confirm your full name? She asked. I did. Then she said casually, yes, ma'am. You're listed as a co-borrower on the account. My mouth went dry. How? I didn't sign anything. There was a pause. Paper shuffling. Then, I can't discuss signature verification over the phone. You can request the document packet by email. Send it, I said. I didn't even breathe until it hit my inbox. When it arrived, I scrolled so fast my thumb hurt. And there it was, pages and pages of paperwork, with a signature that looked like mine, but didn't feel like mine. Like someone had traced me. I sat back in my chair, staring at it, and the only thought in my head was, if they could do this, what else have they done? Then my phone buzzed. A message from my mom. A screenshot of a resort booking confirmation. And at the bottom of it, the last 4 digits of my card. I didn't even unpack. I just stood there in my mom's kitchen, staring at that booking confirmation like it was a crime scene. 'Cause it was. My card. My digits. My money. And nobody had said a word to me about it. Denise was humming while she moved around the counter, like this was normal. Like she hadn't just tried to sign my life away with family trip glitter on top. Jace leaned against the doorway, arms folded, smirking like he was watching a show. You always help anyway. Don't act brand new. My dad, Rick, finally stood up from the living room and walked in slow, like he wanted to look calm and in control. He glanced at the itinerary, then at me. You're making a big deal out of nothing, he said. We're family. That word again. Family. They say it like a magic spell. Like it erases receipts. I nodded once, slowly. Okay. Then let's do something really simple. They all looked at me. I pulled my suitcase closer with my foot and set my laptop on the table. My hands weren't shaking anymore. That part scared me the most. How calm I suddenly felt. I just want 5 minutes, I said. Everyone sit. Just sit. Denise hesitated. Jace rolled his eyes but dropped into a chair. Rick sat like a judge, arms crossed, chin lifted. I opened my laptop and clicked a folder I'd named something plain on purpose. Then I turned the screen toward them. The first page was a list. Mounts. Screenshots. Denise's smile started fading like someone turned the lights down. What is that? She asked, voice thinner now. It's everything, I said. Every transfer. Every emergency. Every time you told me it was temporary. Jace leaned forward, squinting. Why would you even keep this? I met his eyes. Because I finally got tired of being confused. Rick's jaw tightened. So this is what you came home to do? Accuse us? I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I came home because you begged, I said. And I realized something on the way here. Denise swallowed hard. Leah. Clicked to the next tab. And the number at the bottom of the page made all the air leave the room. Then I looked up at them and said real quiet, before we talk about your trip, we need to talk about what you've already taken. And that's when my dad's face changed, because he finally understood I wasn't here to babysit. I was here to expose everything. My mom's face went blank when the total hit the screen. Not confused blank. Not processing blank. It was that blank people get when the truth is standing too close, and they're trying to decide whether to admit it or attack it. Kept my voice calm. Took 62,000, I said. Over 3 years. Jace let out this short laugh, like he couldn't believe I had the audacity to count. You're seriously keeping score? I looked at him. No. I'm keeping receipts. My dad's chair scraped the floor. He leaned forward, eyes sharp. We're not criminals, Leah. I didn't blink. Then act like it. Denise's mouth opened and closed twice before sound came out. Baby. That number is exaggerated. You know it is. You're always so intense. There it was. The old move. Make me feel crazy so they don't have to feel guilty. I pointed at the screen. You can literally see every transfer. Rick snapped. So what, you want a medal? You want us to bow down because you helped your own family? I felt something sting behind my eyes, but I didn't let it spill. I didn't help, I said quietly. I carried. And you got comfortable. Jace slapped the table once, sudden. Okay, but why now? Why are you doing this right before Christmas? Like seriously? Because you didn't ask me, I cut in. You decided. You planned a trip. You assigned me the kids. And you used my card like I wouldn't notice. Denise's voice went small. We were going to pay you back. I almost laughed. Came out as a breath. You've been saying that since I was 19. Silence stretched. Then my dad tried the big one. His favorite finishing move. We raised you, he said, slow and heavy. You wouldn't even have that job, that apartment, that life without us. I stared at him. Raising your kid doesn't mean you get to invoice them forever. Denise looked like she might cry. Not because she was sorry. 'Cause she was losing control. Leah, she whispered. Please don't do this to us. I nodded once. Then don't do this to me. I slid a single paper across the table. Simple, clean, not dramatic. An agreement. Acknowledgement. A repayment plan. Jay scoffed. Dad's eyes narrowed. And right when I thought that was the worst part, I clicked into the next folder on my laptop. The one labeled loan. And my mom's face dropped like she'd just remembered what they'd done. The moment I opened the loan folder, my dad stopped breathing like a man who'd just seen a ghost. Not because he didn't understand what was on the screen. 'Cause he did. I turned my laptop toward them and there it was. Clean, typed, official. The lender's header. The account number. The line that made my stomach twist even now. So borrower. Leah Hart. My mom's hand went to her mouth so fast it looked like instinct. Like she'd been waiting for this moment and praying it wouldn't come. Jace blinked at the screen, then at me. What is that? I didn't look away. That, I said, is my name on your loan. Rick's voice went sharp. Turn that off. I didn't sign that, I said. And before you say paperwork, I already called the lender. They confirmed it. I requested the full packet. Everything. Denise shook her head fast, like denial could erase ink. Leah, it was just to help the rate. Your father said it wouldn't. Don't, I cut in. Not loud. Just firm. Don't minimize it. You didn't ask me. You didn't explain. You just used my identity like it was another bill you could put on my tab. Jace's face tightened. So you're saying Mom and Dad forged you? I exhaled slowly. I'm saying my signature is on documents I never knowingly signed. You can call it whatever you want. Rick stood up fully now, looming like that would scare me into backing down. You're trying to destroy this family. I almost laughed, but it didn't reach my mouth. No, I said. I'm trying to save myself. Denise's eyes filled. We were scared, she whispered. We thought you'd say no. I stared at her. So you didn't ask because you knew the answer. Silence hit the kitchen hard. Even the kids had gone quiet in the hallway, like they could feel the tension pressing against the walls. Then my dad did what he always does when he's cornered. He went for my guilt. You think you're better than us, he snapped. You fly in here with your little spreadsheet and act like you're some judge. I nodded once. No, I'm your safety net. And I'm done being cut and stretched and tied into knots so you can pretend everything is fine. I reached into my bag and pulled out my phone. My thumb hovered over the screen. Denise's voice went thin. Leah, what are you doing? I looked at all of them. My mom's panic, my brother's confusion, my dad's anger. And I said it calmly, like a fact, not a threat. I'm about to cancel your trip. And my dad's face went completely blank. My thumb tapped the screen, and suddenly the whole kitchen felt like it shrank. Like the walls leaned into what? Rick's voice dropped low. You won't. I didn't answer him. I didn't argue. I just looked at the booking confirmation again. My last 4 digits sitting there like a fingerprint, and I hit the call button. The resort picked up on the 3rd ring. Hi, I said, and my voice surprised me. Steady. Almost calm. I need to cancel a reservation. I'm the card holder. Denise shot up so fast her chair screeched. Leah, stop please. Jace's eyes went wide. Yo, are you serious right now? Rick leaned over the table, jaw clenched like he was trying to bite his anger back. Hang up the phone. I didn't. The woman on the line asked for the booking number. I read it off the paper on the counter, because my mom had left it out like I was supposed to just accept my role. The woman typed, then said, Okay ma'am. Can cancel that. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly. Denise's hands were shaking. Leah, baby, please don't do this. It's Christmas. I swallowed. Then you should have treated me like family before you treated me like a wallet. Rick snapped. You're humiliating us. I laughed once, short, bitter. No. I'm just not covering it anymore. The confirmation email hit my phone while I was still standing there. Cancelled. One word. One little digital stamp. And it felt like somebody finally cut the rope that had been choking me for years. Denise made this sound, half gasp, half sob. Jace stared at me like I'd become a stranger. Rick's face hardened into something I'd seen before, usually right before he said something that left scars. You're done, he said. You're dead to this family. My chest hurt, but not the way it used to. Not panic. Not guilt. More like grief. Okay, I said quietly. Then I guess it's official. Picked up my suitcase. Denise stepped toward me. Where are you going? I paused at the doorway and looked back. I'm going somewhere, I said, where my love doesn't come with a price tag. I walked out before my courage could talk me out of it. And the second I got into the car, my phone buzzed again. Not a call. A notification. My dad had posted on Facebook. And the first line made my stomach drop. I never thought my own daughter would do this to us. The first time I saw my dad call me a villain, it wasn't to my face. It was on a Facebook post. I was sitting in the back seat of that car, suitcase by my knees, trying to breathe like a normal person when the notification popped up. I tapped it because of course I did, and there it was. Whole post. Dramatic. Emotional. Carefully written like he was the victim of some tragic, ungrateful daughter. I never thought my own daughter would do this to us, he wrote. And the comments. That's what wrecked me. People I grew up around. Aunties. Old neighbors. Friends of my parents who used to pinch my cheeks and tell me I was such a good girl. Kids these days. Family is everything. Some people don't deserve parents. Start a GoFundMe. We'll share. I felt heat crawl up my neck. My hand started shaking so bad I nearly dropped my phone. Because here's the thing. Rick wasn't just mad. He was controlling the story. And my family has always lived off stories. Not facts. Not receipts. Stories. I stared at the screen and I could literally feel two versions of me fighting inside my chest. The old me, the trained me, wanted to fix it. Call him. Apologize. Smooth it over. Pay something. Anything just to make the noise stop. But the new me remembered that co-borrower line. Name. My credit. My future sitting inside their mess like collateral. So I did the one thing my family hates more than no. Got organized. I screenshotted the post. Saved the comments. Downloaded every bank transfer again. Opened a fresh folder and labeled it like a case file. Receipts. Then I called my financial advisor and said, I need you to tell me what to do, like I'm not their daughter. Like I'm just a person protecting herself. Her voice was calm. Professional. No guilt. Lock your credit, she said. Change passwords. Notify the lender in writing. Keep every record. And Leah, if you stop being the financial cushion, things will surface that were being held up by your money. That last sentence sat heavy in my stomach. Things will surface. I stared at my laptop screen, fingers hovering over the keyboard, and I realized something terrifying. This wasn't just a Christmas trip. This was a whole system. And now that I'd pulled my money out of it, the system was about to collapse. Then my phone buzzed. Message from Jace. Just 6 words. Leah, it's worse than you think. At 2:17 in the morning, my phone rang from an unknown number. Not a text. Not a notification. All. And something in me just knew. I answered, half sitting up in bed, heart already racing. Hello. A woman's voice, professional and flat. Is this Leah Hart? Yes. This is the Fraud and Risk Department. I'm calling to verify an application submitted using your information. My whole body went cold. What application? There was a pause like she was reading off a screen. A line of credit request. Submitted tonight. Tonight. I sat up fully. I didn't submit anything. Okay, she said. Then I need you to confirm. Do you authorize anyone else to apply on your behalf? My mouth went dry. I almost laughed, but it came out as a shaky breath. No. Understood, she replied. We've flagged it. You should place a credit freeze immediately. When the call ended, I just stared at the dark ceiling like it might explain how my own family could still be reaching for my name even after I walked out. My laptop was on the nightstand. I opened it with trembling fingers and froze my credit. Changed passwords. Added 2-factor authentication to everything. My life turned into checklists and security questions. And then Jace's message replayed in my head. It's worse than you think. So I called him. He picked up on the first ring, and he didn't sound smug anymore. He sounded scared. Leah, he said low, Dad's losing it. I sat on the edge of my bed. Tell me. There was silence. Then a sharp exhale. He tried to apply for a credit line, Jace admitted. He said it was temporary. He said you'd never know. And when Mom told him you froze everything, he snapped. My hands clenched. So he did try to use my info. Again. Yeah, Jace whispered. And it's not just that. The house, it's behind. Like really behind. And there are letters, serious ones. Mom's getting calls from the lender and there's something with taxes too. Taxes how? My voice came out too steady, like my brain was protecting me from what my body couldn't handle. Jace hesitated. Dad's been moving stuff around. Cash jobs. Side income. He kept saying it was fine because you were sending money and it covered the gaps. Covered the gaps. So my money wasn't just paying bills. It was hiding the cracks. I closed my eyes, feeling betrayal burn behind them. Why are you telling me this now? Because, Jace said, voice cracking. He's coming to you next. He keeps saying you owe him. He keeps saying he'll fix it. If he can just get you to sign one more thing. One more thing. My stomach dropped. And right then my doorbell rang. Not a polite ring. Long press. Like someone outside already believed they had the right to come in. The doorbell didn't just ring. It stayed ringing, like whoever was on the other side was trying to push my spine through the door with sound alone. I didn't move at first. I just sat on the edge of my bed, phone in my hand, listening to my own heartbeat slam in my ears. Then I heard his voice through the hallway. Leah. Open up. Vic. Course it was him. I walked to the door quietly and looked through the peephole. There he was, my dad in a jacket like he was showing up to handle business, not break into his daughter's peace. And behind him, slightly to the side, my mom. Niece. Is red. Hands clasped together like she was praying this wouldn't get worse. I exhaled through my nose and unlocked the top chain. Not because I was scared. 'Cause I was done. I opened the door just enough to speak. Rick leaned in immediately. You think you can hide, he snapped. You think you can destroy this family and sleep? I didn't match his volume. I didn't need to. It's 2 a.m., I said. Go home. He laughed like I was stupid. No. You're going to fix what you started. Denise whispered. Leah, please. I looked at her. Mom, are you safe? She nodded barely. And that's when I knew. This wasn't a visit. It was a pressure campaign. Rick stepped closer. I need you to sign something, he said. Just one form. It'll solve everything. There it was. One more thing. I shook my head. No. His face tightened. You're being selfish. I smiled, small and tired. You mean protected. He tried to push the door and the chain caught. That sound, metal stopping him, felt like a symbol I needed for years. Rick, I said calmly, if you don't step back, I'm calling security. He froze. You wouldn't. Held up my phone. Try me. Denise flinched at that. Like she finally realized I wasn't bluffing the way they always assumed. Rick's voice dropped ugly. After everything we did for you. Cut him off. After everything I paid for you. Silence. Then I added, slow and clear. My credit is frozen. The lender has been notified. And if my name shows up on one more application, I file a police report. I'm not debating it. I'm not negotiating it. Denise's breath hitched. She whispered, Rick, stop. And for the first time in my life, my mom didn't stand behind him. She stood beside the truth. Rick stared at her like she'd betrayed him. Then he looked back at me, jaw working like he wanted to say something that would hurt. But he had nothing left that could reach me. He backed up, muttered something under his breath, and walked away down the hall. Denise stayed. Tears slipped down her face. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm so sorry. I didn't explode. I didn't lecture. I just said the real thing. I love you, I told her. But I'm not your safety net anymore. A week later, the lender email came through. Refinance or sale. My name would be removed either way. The chain was breaking legally, permanently. And sitting alone on my couch that night, I realized the lesson wasn't family is everything. The lesson was this. Love that demands your self-destruction isn't love. It's control. If someone calls your boundaries betrayal, it's because they benefited from you having none. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you've lived through something similar, share your story in the comments. Your voice matters.